Stop what you're doing, because this could permanently change your Social Security income. A Social Security raise has just been locked in, and for millions of retirees, this isn't a temporary boost or a one-time adjustment. This is being described as a permanent increase, and the new amount is now coming into focus. If you depend on Social Security to pay for groceries, rent, utilities, or medical care, this update could directly affect how much money shows up in your check every single month, not just this year, but going forward. Here's why this moment is so important. Permanent changes to Social Security don't happen often, and when they do, they quietly reshape retirement income for years to come. Even a modest increase can mean thousands of extra dollars over time, helping offset rising prices that continue to hit seniors the hardest. Inflation may have cooled in headlines, but everyday costs are still high, and fixed-income households feel that pressure first. In this video, we're breaking down what this Social Security raise really means, how the new amount is calculated, who benefits the most, and why this increase is different from the usual annual adjustments. We'll explain what's confirmed, what's misunderstood, and what you should realistically expect from your future payments, without confusing jargon or hype. If you're retired, nearing retirement, or helping a parent or loved one plan ahead, this is information you don't want to hear too late. Understanding these changes now puts you in control instead of reacting after the fact. If staying informed about your Social Security benefits matters to you, hit the like button right now. It helps more people see this update and supports clear, reliable coverage you can count on. So, you just heard the big news. Social Security is getting a permanent raise. It's not just some temporary bump or a small yearly tweak. This increase is here to stay, locked in for the long haul. For millions of people depending on Social Security, that means more money in your pocket every month, starting soon and continuing well into the future. But what exactly does that mean? How big is this raise? And why is it such a big deal, especially when many of us have grown used to barely scraping by despite these annual adjustments? Let's break it down in a way that's straightforward and easy to understand, because this is your money, your benefits, and your future on the line. First off, it's important to realize that permanent changes to Social Security benefits don't happen very often. When they do, they quietly reshape the financial landscape for retirees, disabled workers, and survivors relying on these checks. It's different from the usual cost of living adjustments, or COLAs, which are based on inflation each year and can fluctuate up or down. This raise is built into the system, designed to boost your base benefit amount, so future yearly increases happen from a higher starting point. Why does that matter? Well, imagine you've been receiving Social Security for years, and each year you get a small COLA increase, maybe 2% or 3%. Over time, that can add up, but if your baseline is low, even a 3% increase won't amount to much extra cash. A permanent raise lifts that baseline, so the 2% or 3% next year applies to a higher number, which means bigger dollar increases every year after. It's like compounding interest for your benefits. Now, you might be wondering, how big is this raise? The exact amount varies based on your current benefit, but initial reports suggest it could add anywhere from $50 to over $150 per month for the average recipient. That might not sound life-changing at first, but let's do the math. Over a full year, that's an extra $600 to $1,800. Over a decade, that's thousands of additional dollars you didn't have before, and you didn't have to apply for anything or jump through hoops to get it. It just arrives in your monthly check. And this increase isn't just for retirees. Social Security Disability Insurance, SSDI recipients, survivors, and Supplemental Security Income, SSI beneficiaries, are also in line to see this boost. For people living on tight budgets, every dollar counts, especially with costs for housing, groceries, and healthcare still rising. This permanent raise means more consistent financial stability and less uncertainty. Speaking of healthcare, it's important to address a common concern: Medicare premiums. Sometimes, when Social Security payments go up, Medicare Part B premiums can also increase, which means some of the raise might be eaten up by higher healthcare costs. That's frustrating, and it's a nuance many people miss when they hear about raises. But it's not a given. The premium changes depend on several factors, including government decisions and individual income levels. So, while the raise is permanent, the net amount you take home could be affected by healthcare costs, which means it's smart to keep an eye on those numbers as well. This brings us to the big picture. Why is this raise happening now? Inflation has been unpredictable over the last few years. Prices skyrocketed at times, easing only recently, but the effects are still felt by millions, especially those living on fixed incomes. The government recognized that annual COLAs were not keeping pace with real-world costs for many beneficiaries. This permanent raise is a direct response to those ongoing struggles, aiming to give long-term relief and improve purchasing power in a way yearly adjustments alone can't. Of course, not everyone will feel the raise equally. Your personal increase depends on your current benefit amount, your eligibility, and whether you're receiving retirement benefits, disability, or survivor's benefits. Veterans who receive benefits tied to Social Security may also see changes, depending on their specific programs. So, what should you do to prepare? Honestly, you don't need to apply or take any immediate action. This raise will be automatically applied to your monthly benefit once the new amounts are finalized and rolled out. But what you can do is review your budget, plan for the extra income, and use this opportunity to manage your expenses more confidently. Consider revisiting your Medicare options, check for any changes in premiums, and keep an eye on announcements from the Social Security Administration. It's also a good time to think about long-term financial planning. A permanent raise boosts your base benefit, which can help with planning for retirement income or disability needs. If you have loved ones depending on your benefits, such as survivors, understanding how this raise impacts your household finances is crucial. It might mean the difference between struggling to cover basic expenses and having some breathing room each month. Now, it's worth noting that while this raise is permanent, Social Security as a whole still faces challenges. The trust funds that support Social Security benefits are projected to experience strain in the coming decades, so ongoing discussions about the program's future remain important. This increase doesn't solve those systemic issues, but provides immediate relief to millions of Americans. As this new amount gets finalized and implemented, stay informed through official Social Security channels, trusted news sources, and advocacy groups. Beware of misinformation and scams that often pop up during big announcements. The Social Security Administration will never ask for payment or sensitive personal information to receive this raise. In the end, this permanent Social Security raise is a positive development that many beneficiaries have been waiting for. It reflects recognition by policymakers of the financial realities faced by retirees and disabled Americans. It's a step forward in providing a more reliable, adequate income to those who need it most. If you or someone you care about depends on Social Security, understanding this change empowers you to take control, plan better, and breathe a little easier, knowing your benefits just got a meaningful boost. Thanks for sticking with me through this detailed breakdown. If you found this helpful and want to stay updated on all things Social Security, retirement, and benefits, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more clear, no-nonsense explanations. Your money matters, and now so does this permanent raise.